Hello YouTube. You probably clicked on this video, right? Because you're trying to figure out which QuickBooks Online version is right for you. Well, look no further. I'm about to go over each and every one of the options and I will help you pick which one is best for you. My name is Travis Reynolds and I'm a CPA with McKinley Tax Service, where we do taxes, bookkeeping, payroll, and handle all of your accounting needs. So if you ever need any questions with QuickBooks or anything, please feel free to reach out. So let's just dive right into it, shall we? All right, so these are all the main QuickBooks Online versions. I'll go through each and every one of them except the Advanced. I don't think Advanced is right for small business owners. If you're a small business owner and you outgrew Simple Start, you outgrew Plus, and you outgrew the Self-Employed, most likely the Advanced will, basically there's better accounting software out there that can do all these things, and you can probably just get a much better product. But I'm gonna go through the Self-Employed, the Plus, the Simple Start, and a secret one. So let's start off with the self-employed. If you first notice that pretty much they all include track income and expenses, they all include capture and organize receipts. Only the self-employed includes the estimated quarterly taxes. The self-employed and everything else includes invoice and accept payments, track miles, and you can run reporting. So track income and expenses. Basically what this is QuickBooks, it will connect it to the bank. And then from there, all the income expenses that go through your bank or credit card will show up in QuickBooks, and you can easily categorize so you can see where your income and expenses go. The next one is capture and organize receipts. So basically, if you download the app, you can take a picture of the receipt and it will automatically match that transaction from the bank account that it downloads. You can also, if you get an invoice sent to you via email, you can just forward it to QuickBooks and it'll do the exact same thing, which is an extremely useful feature in my opinion. It makes organizing and capturing receipts very simple. The next one is only for the self-employed, which is the estimate quarterly taxes. So basically, if you are tracking your income and expenses, QuickBooks will estimate how much you should put away for your quarterly tax payment and when you should make that quarterly tax payment. This can be very helpful, but it can also be very misleading. If you are not categorizing correctly, which I see all the time, some people, they don't have a business bank account, so they mix their personal business and they treat income that should not be income, they treat expenses that should not be expenses, and basically their estimated quarterly taxes are wrong. And so if it's done right, this can be very helpful, but if it's done wrong, it can also be very hurtful. You'll notice that these versions don't have that feature. Most likely it's because if your business got to the size where you need these features, hopefully you already have an accountant that does that for you. The next one, invoice and accept payments. So basically this is where you can send out invoices to your customers and you can accept payment. So for me, for example, I use QuickBooks Online for my firm. Once I'm done with the customer, I basically just go into QuickBooks, I find the customer, I send them an invoice, QuickBooks will automatically email them that invoice, and then the customer can pay via credit card or a bank transfer. And so that's very helpful. You can see, you can collect money that way, and you can see how much you've billed your customers historically. The next one is track miles, which is also very important. So basically, if you are driving around and you have the app will recognize in the background via GPS that you're driving and you're doing miles. And so every now and then you can go in the app and you can indicate if it's for business or if it's for personal. For business, right now in 2020, the IRS mileage rate is 57.5 cents per mile. So if you drive 1,000 business miles throughout the year, you basically get a $575 tax deduction, which is extremely helpful. So it's very important to keep track of your miles because you do need that as backup, and you also need to verify your expenses via receipts. And so tracking miles and the capture and organize receipts, basically you will have proof of all of your deductions, which is extremely helpful. It's important to have backup for taxes. The next one is run basic reports. So if you notice, this one says run basic reports. This one says run the most powerful reports, run comprehensive reports, and run general reports. Basically, I think this is all a bunch of mumbo jumbo. If you're asking me, there's only 3 reports you're going to run, and that is a balance sheet report, which basically tells you the health of the company, a profit and loss report, also known as an income statement, that'll tell you how much money you made, and then an accounts receivable report, which will tell you how much your customers owe you. And so basically those are going to be mostly the 3 reports that you run regardless of what stage of the business you're in. Like I said, if you're in the advanced stage, probably you won't use, I don't recommend QuickBooks Advanced. There's other better accounting software out there that will also do the reporting that you need. But generally, you're just going to need accounts receivable, balance sheet, and profit and loss, which you can get in Simple Start, Plus, and Self-Employed. Next one up is the Simple Start version. So if we come over here, you can see that it continues. Manage cash flow. That's basically just the balance sheet report in income and expenses combined. Basically, you just get to see where your money's going, how much money people owe you, and basically where your money's going. So if we come over here, the next one we'll see is manage cash flow. And this is basically just a fancy word for basically you guys where your money is going. You can track income and expenses and also see the health of your business via the balance sheet. Maybe you're taking owner's draws. Maybe you're putting money in the business. Basically, you can just pull a report via the balance sheet or the income statement to see where money's going. So there's nothing too fancy about that. Run general reports. I kind of went over. Send estimates. So this is very good if you're a contractor or if you gave someone a quote. You can send them an estimated invoice on how much they probably will be paying for record keeping. Track sales and sales tax. So this is very helpful if you are a business that has to collect sales tax from customers. So if you're just a retailer who collects the same sales tax, it's pretty simple to calculate sales tax. If you're just charging 6.5% of sales tax, you can just charge 6.5% for everything. But maybe you're a contractor who is working in different cities. You have to charge different local city sales tax rate. QuickBooks will do that for you. Basically, you just put in your customer's address, and QuickBooks will automatically calculate the sales tax. So when you have to go remit that sales tax, you know exactly how much to report, how much to pay, and you'll know in your bank account how much of that is for sales tax. And so that's available in all of these. The next one is manage 1099 contractors. So this is very important. If you pay an individual or a small business that is not a corporation more than $600, most likely you need to send them an EIN. Sorry, not an EIN. Yeah, 1099 at the end of the year. And so basically, QuickBooks will keep track of how much you pay your vendors, and you can put in an EIN or the Social Security number. An EIN is basically a Social Security number for a business. And then basically you have all the information you need. And so at the end of the year, you can quickly send them a 1099 with a few clicks of a button. So that's pretty much everything that's in the simple start. The next one is the plus version. And so the only feature in here that I think is worth mentioning is the manage and pay bills and track project profitability. So for the manage and pay bills, some of my clients, they don't like to, pay the bills via check or go online and pay via credit card. It's just another step in the process that they don't like to do. So what you can do is, if you get a invoice, you can put that bill in QuickBooks, and then that way you can see how much bills you currently owe, or how many bills you currently owe that you haven't paid yet. And then with a few clicks of the button, QuickBooks will automatically pay them for you. It'll take the money out of your bank account. It'll either send them a check or via direct deposit. And so that's very simple for the small business owners that do like to pay bills that way. Track time is important. So if you are a small business that has to track time and you bill an hourly rate to your customers, you can track time in QuickBooks, and then you can add that time to your invoice. So for example, for my firm, I charge hourly. So if I work on a customer for 2 hours to prepare a tax return, I can do that in QuickBooks. And so when I go to charge the customer or send them an invoice, the time will automatically be there. I don't have to keep track of it via spreadsheet or anything else. I don't have to calculate how much he owes. It'll do all that for me, which is very helpful. Next up, include 5 users. That's probably a lot in my opinion. I don't know how many small businesses need 5 users to be in their QuickBooks. Generally, you only need 1 or 2 plus an accountant. But if you have someone, or if you're a business that wants lots of users, generally that's a good one. Track project profitability. This is great for small contractors or general contractors. Basically, you can see how profitable each job is. So maybe you're working on a window project, maybe you're doing some cabinets, maybe you're building a deck. Maybe those are all 3 different jobs. You can tell how profitable each one is. You can assign them all a different class. It's called a class. And then you can just kind of go from there. Track inventory. That's if you have inventory. If you're a retailer, that's a great feature. Now again, the advanced version, I said, if you are a business owner that has outgrew all of these, there's better accounting software out there. And that'll be for another video. But I generally would stay away from the advanced, unless there's just one feature in here that you need. Automate workflows. You can pretty much automate a lot of stuff in here. It doesn't say that, but you can. You can create transactions that you can tell QuickBooks where to go. So maybe you pay a bill every month, like $1,000 via check. And you can say, hey, if I write a check for $1,000 on this date, I want to go here, or I want to go to this expense account. You can do that in Simple Start and Plus. You can't do that in Self-Employed though. Self-Employed is very simple. Restore company data. Like I said, everything's backed up to the cloud essentially. So you don't really need to restore company data. On-demand online trading. Well, that's what I'm here for, fellas. I'll help you out. dedicated account team. QuickBooks has terrible customer service. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, but there is a secret one that is not in here. So if you notice, this one is $15. This one will be $25. This one will be $7. So there is another one. It's a hybrid between Simple Start and Plus. And I highly recommend this if there's a couple of features in the Plus that you want, but you just really need the Simple Start. And that is you get to include 3 users instead of 5, and you get to track time. And so maybe track time is like the real thing that you need out of your accounting software. And so you see it for the Plus. But that $70 is, it's a bit more than $25 just to track time. But it's called QuickBooks Essentials. So if you just Google QuickBooks Essentials, the first link, it will be for QuickBooks, and it'll be $40 a month, and you can buy it right here. So yeah, so basically you get a track time and you get 3 users, and so that's a very popular one. I don't know why they hide it from you, but probably because they want you to get the Plus version. But yeah, so basically you get a track time and you get 3 users, and you don't have to pay the $70 price. And so I highly recommend the Essentials. Now, which one is probably right for you? Now, that's probably why you clicked on this video. If you are just starting out, maybe you're a freelance writer, maybe you are a photographer, maybe you are, I don't know, you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of business, you don't have a lot of income, don't have a lot of expenses. Self-employed, I would recommend, is the right one for you. It's very simple. When you go to prepare your taxes, it tells you what to put where, and it's extremely easy. So yeah, it's only $15 a month for the self-employed version. Now, maybe your business has grown, you got a lot more activity, got a lot more customers, got a lot more expenses. If you just need 1 user and not tracking time, then Simple Start is the right for you. But if you want to track time or you need more users, then I would go with the Essentials. You got a lot more, you can customize a little bit more, you can see things better. It's kind of hard to explain without showing you, which I'll do in another video. But yeah, for self-employed, you get limited visibility. You can only see certain reports. I don't believe you can customize the names of the accounts, whereas you can with the Simple Start and the Plus. But yeah, generally you can customize your accounting software more to match your business. For Plus, I wouldn't recommend getting Plus unless you're going to track projects. So this is basically if you're a general contractor. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless you're a general contractor, I would stick with the Simple Start or the Essentials. But yeah, the only reason you should go to Plus if you're like a general contractor and you need to track different jobs. And that's basically it. And like I've said about Advanced, if you've outgrown all these and you need these features, there's better accounting software out there for you. And I would recommend staying away from QuickBooks Online. But yeah, so these are all the versions of QuickBooks Online. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them. Otherwise, if you need anything else, please feel free to reach out. And I'm Travis Reynolds with McKinley Tax Service. Thank you very much.